you want to pay off your credit card balances faster and save money doing it, you can use what's called the velocity banking method using a credit card. I'm going to show you how it works, why it works, and then give you an example, and at the very end, a way to save even more money using this method. I'm going to make this very simple and do it fairly quickly because I have videos explaining in more detail all the pieces that I'm going to go through in case you're interested. So first, out of these four things, let's start with the velocity banking method. What exactly is it? Very simple. So follow along here. And I've got example A and example B. And throughout this video, I'm going to refer to them as A and B. A is what you would normally do today. You've got a credit card, for example, with a $10,000 balance. Okay? A, B, same thing. Credit card, $10,000 balance. This is your bank account. This represents the fact that you've got $3,500 in expenses, such as, and over here we've got your expenses like stores. During the month, you'll go get gas, you'll go get groceries, etc. The average household, I believe, is around $5,000 a month available, but some of that's going to go to mortgage. You can't use a credit card for that. Car payments, you can't use a credit card, or if you do, you're going to have fees. So what we're saying is, this is the amount of money you're going to have throughout the course of a month to pay for expenses. And normally, method A is what you might be doing now, which is, let's say that this credit card requires a $500 payment. So during the month, you'll make your $500 payment to the credit card. All right, minus your $500, you end up with $9,500. Over here, you've got your gas and your groceries, and we're going to say that you spend $3,000. And so you're at zero in your bank account, and you're using your debit card, and you're going and you're buying these things. So that $3,000 goes over here. Okay, that's what people typically do during the month. Here it is, real simple. Velocity banking method says this. That's going to be B. You have your $10,000, you got the money in your bank account, and you got the things you got to buy. Here's all you do. You take this amount, $3,500, and you make that payment of $3,500 to the credit card. $3,500. Now you're at $6,500. Okay, now you use the credit card to make the payments and buy these things, not the bank account because it's empty. Use the credit card throughout the month to purchase these things. That's it. You now know exactly how velocity banking with a credit card works. Or I should say the method. We'll explain why it works and how. In this method, same thing. You spend your $3,500, you're at zero. And here you spend your $3,500, you're at zero. Now when you buy your gas, your groceries and things, you're going to be using your credit card. Okay, that's the method. So now if you noticed in that example, what happened? In method A, which was this first method, we took the $500, put it to the credit card, and ended up with a $9,500 balance because we subtracted $500. We used the $3,000 to pay for the gas and the groceries. We end up with $0 in the bank account, right? That's the normal method. Method B, we said, okay, we're going to take the whole $3,500 and we're going to send that over to the credit card, leaving us with a balance of $6,500. But hold on, we're using the credit card to buy $3,000 worth of stuff. So if we're going to buy $3,000 worth of stuff, we're going to end up with a balance of $9,500 by the end of the month. So what's the difference? This method, you end up with a credit card balance of $9,500. This method, you end up with a credit card balance of $9,500. You look at it and you say, that doesn't make any sense. So now the light bulb goes off, because this is an example of a credit card with 0% interest rate. We don't have credit cards with 0% interest rate unless it's an introductory offer and it's a balance transfer, new APR, but that's not what we're talking about here. So your credit card is going to have a 20 or 30% interest rate. So I wanted to show this to you so you understood. When we subtracted 500 and got to 9,500, that's assuming that all of that's going to principal. It's a 0% rate. So if you had a 0% credit card, it doesn't matter which way you do it, it's the same. So this is why it works. Why it works is because credit cards have an interest rate. Now I'll show you the example. So now you know the method. Use the credit card to pay for your items, not the bank account. And now you know what the variable is that makes it work. It's the interest rate. So now the example. So as I said, I'm doing this fairly quickly. I'll have links in the description to exactly how the velocity banking method works, because there's a lot of timing involved, how you move the money, when you move the money. I've got one that shows that. I've also got another video that goes into great detail on how the interest is calculated. I'm kind of skipping through that. So let me show you here an example. A was our method where we just moved the $500 to the credit card and we ended up with a $9,500 balance. Now, I'm going to use 30% credit card interest rate. It works no matter what the percent, just different numbers. The interest that you would pay on $9,500 would be $234. Okay? Method B, we move the entire $3,500 to the credit card, making our balance $6,500 for the month. The interest on $6,500 is $160. Obviously, the interest on $9,500 is more than the interest on $6,500. That's why it works. What's the difference between these two? In other words, what are you saving using this method? $74. That means that you're able to put more money to pay down the debt and the principal. That's why this works. Now, I'll show you your savings in a second. Let's just make something clear here, and that is that, remember, during the month, since you're using this card, you're eventually going to start adding on additional expenditures like gas and groceries, etc. So eventually it'll be back up to the $9,500 because you're using it in that manner. So this is the best case scenario, $6,500, meaning you didn't buy any of your items until the very end of the month, and the interest was calculated every single day at $6,500. That's not realistic. You're going to go buy gas this week and groceries this week and dry cleaning and whatever else, some pet food, and now you're at $6,900. And then the next week you're going to buy some gas and groceries and things, and then you're at $7,400. And it's slowly going up. So if you were to say that you spent throughout the month fairly evenly, it would be about half of this, which let's say is $37. So it's more realistic as you're doing things that you're saving $37 a month. What this means in terms of savings is that using the normal method where you're just making your credit card payment only on the card, you'd end up spending over $4,000 in interest. Using the method where you moved everything onto the card and then slowly bought your items, you would pay about $3,600 in interest. So you would pay off, because you've got that extra $37 a month, you would pay it off 3 months sooner, and you'd save $410 in interest. So now you can see that the reason the method works is because credit cards have an interest rate, and the method itself is simply moving the money from your bank account to the card, and then buying your items using the credit card, not using your bank account. It's that simple. It will save you time, it will save you money, and depending upon your balance, depending upon how much you spend, these numbers will change. But this is why it works. Now, lastly, there's another way that makes this and amplifies it even more. So the hack to make this work even faster, save you more money and save you more time, is the Cash Back Cascade Method. And click the video at the end of this one because it goes into detail so you can see how much more you can save and how exactly to implement it. I'll just tell you that in this example, we had that $37 difference by using the method, meaning we were able to put another $37. We were saving that, put it to principal. Using the Cash Back Cascade Method, as an example, you could have an additional $75, sometimes even more, and you would be applying $112. So what would happen? Well, in our example of 37, the way I showed you, you saved $400 and you saved 2 months. Adding the additional money allows you to save, in this example, would be $1,000 you would save instead of $400, and you would save 7 months of payments instead of 2. So click this video when it pops up so that you can learn how to do the Cash Back Cascade Method and save significantly more. I hope this was helpful and it explained how it works, why it works, exactly how to use it, simplified as much as possible. So in the description, there are links to other videos I have which explain exactly how to use the velocity method, how to apply it, the timing that's involved, etc. A video showing how the interest is calculated if you're interested. That also helps you to understand why the method works. And then follow the link to this next one for the Cash Back Cascade, because it's going to show you how to really amplify and save even more money on your credit card debt. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and click this next video.